Hey guys, it's B from B's Reef. Just giving you an update on the tanks since I added 2 new fish in it this week. Added them in on Friday night. I've been off Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It was a great time to put them in and be able to keep an eye on them, just making sure there's no aggression and they were all getting on. They've been in my quarantine tank for 2 weeks and I'm hoping to pick something up shortly to add to the tank next week, maybe the week after. So, as usual, the quarantine tank's empty and straight away I'm wanting to put more into it. The 2 fish that I got, the first one you can see is at the front now on the left hand side. He's the orange multicoloured wrasse. It's known as the McCoskers Flasher Wrasse, and if you keep an eye on him he will pop and just flash his dorsal fin and really stand out. And when he does that, he's got a nice electric blue that runs down his spine, and it really does, as the name suggests, flash. I was a bit worried when I added him with the CAnnary wrasse, which I believe is a female. There we go, popping right there. When I added him the yellow CAnnary wrasse, or Coris wrasse, which appropriately named Tweety, initially they hid from each other for about half an hour, and then they were getting on, swimming around fine. Then I had a real problem when, out of nowhere, the yellow CAnnary wrasse, while feeding, just chased the McCoskers Wrasse, and he just shot into the sandbed. Wouldn't come out for about an hour, 2 hours, but eventually he came back out, and I've kept an eye on him since then, and they're now like this, both swimming around happy, no aggression between them. And I think McCoskers Wrasse is even trying to flash to Tweety, the CAnnary wrasse. He really just follows her round and pops in front of her. So it's a fantastic sight to behold, and they've now got friends, so it's always nice to see them getting along. The other addition that I got is my chalk Goby, or 6-spotted cheek Goby. He's hiding around the back somewhere, or in the substrate tunnel with the Watchman. I was a bit worried at first with him because I thought the Watchman Goby would be having a real go at him all the time. But my sand was getting quite a lot of algae building up just along the surface of it. You can actually see it on the right hand side of the tank under the rockwork. It's like diatoms, but it's actually a bit thicker. I'm not sure on the type of algae it is, but I thought if he comes in, he'd be a great addition just to keep stirring up the stand, stopping it staying stagnant. And so far he's really improved it. It's done fantastic for the tank. There's still areas that he can have a go at, but he really is making it his own. And you can see him on the arc at the bottom left, more central. You can see the white Goby. I'm just going to try and zoom in on him. There he is. You can just see him through the tunnel. Picking sand up, sifting through it. The only downside to this is you might be able to see it now that I've zoomed in. The cloudy water. There is detritus everywhere and it doesn't take long to clean. The sump seems to be handling it. It's all filtering down, settling in the sump, and I'll eventually do a water change to just get rid of all that debris. The protein skimmer is working overtime as well, just bringing it out, so I'm not too worried. However, I have seen the Watchman Goby. He's popping out now and again to keep an eye on things, and more when feeding. Anyone comes near his burrow and he's out there, mouth open, seeing them off. I've not seen him bite anyone or actually do any damage to anyone yet. He's just protecting his hole. But at the same time I'm quite confused because overnight the chalk Goby will go and sleep in the burrow, the same one that the Watchman's in, and the pistol shrimp. I do hear the occasional pistol shrimp pop, but so far the chalk Goby's fine, and he is quite a bit bigger than the Watchman, so I'm not too worried. If any of you have any comments on that, see if you've had similar experiences, or if they found their own together or made their own home afterwards, let me know. The Goby in general though is doing well. I believe it's a female because it's a white and silver colour as opposed to a yellow colour. It is a yellow Watchman Goby, contrary to the name, but that's what happens with them. So overall, tank's doing well. The Goby's literally throwing sand everywhere, which is both horrible and fantastic. And my parameters I'll post below, but they're all stable. I was a bit worried because when I was adding calcium, KH blend by Reef flowers, I didn't realise, but my calcium was going really high. It was over 500 and I couldn't figure it out. But then when I visited my local fish store, they said that the Reef flowers blend actually has calcium in it, which is why it's probably staying so high. So I was aiming for about 9 KH, and to keep it at that level, the calcium was way over 500. It wasn't even registering on the calcium test. However, now that I've just kind of left it, I bought some SPS corals, a Montipora, a branching and a plating Montipora, and I just thought, leave them to it, they'll bring the calcium down. The KH, I'll watch it, see if it needs adding to. So I left it a week with them in the tank. The calcium dropped from over 500 to 475, which is a lot more in range of where I want it to be, about 460. And the KH only dropped by 0.3 from 8.6 to 8.3. So I'm going to leave it another week, see how they do. They're growing. You can see the plug on the left above the hammer coral for the branching Montipora. On the right hand side behind the lobophilia is the plating. You can't see it very much, but it's almost doubled in size since I've got it, so I think that's the one taking all the resources out of the calcium. But they're doing well. I haven't killed them yet. I thought I'd get SPS corals and they'd just die straight away. My only concern is on the left hand side where Tweety is now, there is some GSP there. I moved it there trying to get it to piece onto the rock that I've glued it to try and get a nice big flow of green in the tank. But since I've put it there nearly 2 weeks now, it's barely come out of the tank. It's just sitting there. The top end of it will come out, but that's it. Now I am running the Chinese black boxes, so I've got a feeling there just isn't enough light on the edges. But on the right hand side, on the right of the lobophilia, I do have some sort of zoas. If anyone could ID them for me, that'd be fantastic. But they are in a similar situation but on the reverse, and they open up so much. I see them as almost like Venus fly traps. You feed pellets, they drop down, and as they land on them, they close up. And because they're such a big open polyp, you really see it closing up around them. The lobophilia video where it was feeding was fantastic, if anyone wants to have a look at that. As you can see, the tank's getting cloudier as the chalk Goby's doing his job. He's really sifting up that substrate for me, so it's dirty now, but it'll be better in the long run. But anyway, that's my update for my tank. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to see more. I can put out some more information about these Flasher Wrasses and the contents of my tank. As you can see, I've only got a few crabs and a few snails, and that's it. But all's going well. Thanks for watching.